right around the corner from Laura Farms and some of the other farms that I often visit. I never knew who they were, but wow. They said they followed me on the internet on the Fruitful Trees, and they have not one, not two, but three blooming fruit farms, and these places are amazing. And this place that we're going to film today here is, look at this behind me. These are all mango trees. 60 years old, these mango trees. This was a Tommy Atkins mango acreage from a long time ago, and they had enough room where they got the property behind this one, and they had fruit trees on there. As a matter of fact, the Fruit and Spice Park in South Florida here in Homestead is an amazing park of all these amazing different fruits. Well, the granddaughter, they got the property from the granddaughter of the owner of the Fruit and Spice Park who started that. That used to be their property. So we're going to look at that property today and see some of the amazing fruit trees they have there. Tommy Atkins is the most common mango in the United States commercially. And to my opinion is it's absolutely the lowest of the low and not too great. But to be honest with you, I've never tasted a Tommy Atkins mango from the tree. That's why it's so bad. And I always tell people, you want to get fruit from the growers. And people tell me, if you get even a Tommy Atkins from the tree, it's amazing. So today I'm going to taste a Tommy Atkins fruit ripe right off the tree, and we're going to see how it tastes. So this a couple that owns this farm and the other farms we're going to go to, they have a website. I'm going to put it below the video here. They typically sell wholesale, but they're just starting now to get into selling retail, 2-day FedEx to your house, and you can order from their website. Not only did I have these Tommy Atkins mangoes, which I'm sure right off the tree they're going to be absolutely amazing, but what's interesting is the mangoes here. I just picked this one off the floor. They do it in 3 stages. They do it in a green stage that people can use for pickling. Then there's 2 other stages, and then the ripeness stage, and so on. They do it in these different stages. So they're strategically growing these and selling them. But this is just so adorable. Look at this. I don't know if you can see this, everybody. If you can see behind me here, but let's see. There are some, well, maybe you can't see, but there's a turkey with a bunch of little turkeys. Absolutely. So cool, so cool. So they have a different property here attached, which I got later, as I said. And I'm going over here now, and I'm going to show you on the video today all of the things we're going to discuss. But they planted a whole grove of mamets. And these are Plantain mamets, just a wonderful variety, also known as Key West. They have a bunch of these. Now, the couple doesn't like to be on camera too much, so they're going to stand behind the camera with me today, and we're going to look at the trees, because after all, you're not here to look at me or them, you're here to see the trees, right? So we're going to do that. They have a bunch of fruits here. They have so many different fruits, so I'm looking forward to doing a tour with them today. And we're going to start that tour right now. Remember, I'm going to put their contact information below the video. And also, they're not going to be on the video. We're just going to be looking at the trees. But listen to what we're saying and the questions I ask. And here we go. All right, everybody. So Jessica and Stuart are going to show us around this property here in Homestead. But they don't prefer to be on camera, so they're going to talk behind the camera with me. And this is great, because we're here to see fruit trees, not us. So we're going to see a bunch of them. So tell us, how big is this property here?
So this property that we live on is 2.3 acres.
2.3 acres. How many trees total do you have here?
About 200.
200 trees. Majority of them are Tommy Atkins mangoes. This used to be a mango grove with Tommy Atkins mangoes. How many years have you been here?
We've been here for about 10 years.
10 years, okay. And did you add or take out trees since you've been here?
We haven't removed any of the Tommy Atkins trees, but we did add trees.
Okay. How old are these trees?
About 60 years old.
60 years old, okay. And do you trim them and prune them regularly?
Yes, we do. These were actually trimmed back significantly about 2 years ago. And they had a very hard prune about 4 or 5 years ago.
Yes.
They're such vigorous trees that they just pop right back up.
All right. So show us around here what you got. So I see some new trees.
Sure, that's a Kio Savoy. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing it correctly.
No, yeah, Kia Savoy. Yes, that's
So it's just got a new flush on it.
So this is interesting here. So what do you do with your trees? This is the most popular commercial variety in the United States. So do you sell them commercially? Is that what you do?
Yes, we do. We sell mainly to wholesalers, local wholesalers.
Okay. So how far apart are these two trees, you think?
What would you say, Stuart? About 8 feet?
Yes.
About 8 feet apart.
So in the old days, that's how far they planted them, I guess. Are all your trees about this far apart?
Yes.
About, I mean, it varies, but for the most part, yes.
Now, if you look up these trees, everybody, looking up, the canopies are definitely intertwined. Do you think it makes a big difference planting them farther apart, or you think they fruit just as well, even the intertwined part?
I think spacing wise, it would be better to have them a little bit further out. But for us, we tend to sell them in 3 different stages, with baby mango, green mango, and then also ripe mango. So with the canopies being so thick that as they are, then when they're baby mango or they're green mango, then they're not exposed to the sunlight, and so they stay green, sour, crunchy for clients.
That's what
Okay.
our customers prefer. Once they start blushing a little bit, they don't want. A lot of them don't want.
Got you. All right, so coming together, and is that because they want it to take longer to get ripe, or just because they like to pickle it or something?
They like the green look, as far as I know. That's what's sought after.
Okay. Well, as we see it, so those are 8 feet apart, and you had 200, you said?
About 200.
200. So this is the front of their house. There's a bunch, and that one's a little farther apart, but those are 8 feet apart. Now, what's this one here in the middle that you put here?
Oh, we didn't cut it. It just started growing. We're gonna have to trim it back because we need access with this gate.
Okay, so that's a wild seedling. Okay.
Mhm.
And all their trees look like they're the same size, and you said you trimmed the trees, right?
2 years ago.
Okay, that must have been fun. Alrighty. All right. So what else you got? And what you've added?
We've got Caimito a little over here, purple.
Purple Caimito. All right. And do you know what variety it is? Is it grafted or just a seedling?
We purchased it from Lara. I don't remember. Just that it does produce a lot.
Yeah, if you got that from Laura Farms, that's going to be a grafted one, and that's a good choice, the best place to get them.
Very
Yes.
delicious food.
Have you gotten a lot of fruit off that?
Yes.
How old's that tree?
It's been in the ground about 4 years.
3 to 4 years, and they're getting fruit.
Lots.
How big was it when you got it?
It was probably only about 3 feet tall.
Wow. Now, are your trees are big enough where they don't need water, correct?
Correct.
What about
We
a
don't
tree
water
like
them.
that? Did you water that one?
We didn't
Yes.
even water it that much. In the very beginning, yes. But we don't water it anymore.
Okay, but it still gives fruit.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, great.
Plenty of fruit.
All righty.
We don't have an irrigation system for it. Usually what I'll do is
Oh, sorry.
I'll hook up the water hose, and every 3 to 4 days when it's not raining, then I'll water it.
Okay. And when you first got it, you watered it like every day? Just to
Every
get it
other
established?
day.
Yeah.
Get it established. Right?
Is that your peacock over there?
They're wild.
Wild peacocks.
We've
Wow.
got lots of them. My husband, he enjoys feeding the peacocks because we've also got turkeys and we've got chickens.
Now, the peacocks are beautiful, but do they mess with the fruit at all?
They don't seem to bother us with the fruit.
No.
They probably just eat the fruit that's fallen on the floor. We don't grab the fruit that's on the floor.
With all, yeah,
I'm sorry, the only fruit that they mess with is the miracle berry.
the miracle berry, yes.
I
Now,
love
that's my favorite one, too. Now, with all of these trees, what's your biggest pest? Raccoons, squirrels? What would be your biggest issue or no issues here?
Squirrels.
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 Squirrels, okay.
These are carambolas. We got those from Lara Farms as well.
Two
Those are the cherry
carambolas.
variety. And
Cherry.
they provide an abundance.
Now, do you sell these?
We have. We have
Because
sold
most people don't need two for their own personal
right.
use.
Gives
And you
lots.
definitely keep these short, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because those grow really big. Okay. Wow, look at this, everybody. This is a true grove. This is at least a 60-year-old Tommy Atkins mango grove. And look at the trees in the rows, how they're planted. And look how big they are. And look how close they are. That is really impressive. And a great answer to the question is how close you can plant trees and get away with them. And they look like they're doing good. They all look like they have fruit on them. Is the Tommy Atkins early season or a late season or mid season?
I would consider it mid-season.
Mid season. Have you thought about top working any of your trees or no?
We have considered it. We especially are considering it on the electrical line where the electricity runs because they are such vigorous growing trees. Maybe top working to like a less vigorous tree, but we do enjoy the productivity of Tommy Atkins.
Sure. How many pounds would you say each season you get per tree? Let's say per tree.
Well, before COVID, we were selling about, per tree. Just this grove right here, I know for this grove we sold like 10 tons of baby mango off of these trees.
Very difficult to guesstimate because of the different times that we harvest.
Sure. Okay.
But they're very productive. They're the most productive tree. And I don't know if it's just because of the age or...
Now, in terms of fertilizer or anything like that, do you use anything?
So we, in the middle of the grove is our well, and we drink the water. So we prefer to keep it as natural as possible. Have we applied fertilizer? We did once this year. Just because this is rockland, you know, we have to, but we're trying to just input more natural, you know, like this is all organic.
When you said about the well, what does the well have to do with it?
Because the groundwater, we drink from the Biscayne aquifer that's under here.
Okay.
So our whole family,
But you don't water the trees with it or anything. You don't water these trees, right?
But these trees are in the water table.
I got you. Okay.
And so whatever we put on the trees, like sprays or fertilizers, it's going to seep down into the water that we drink.
And now, what do you do? Do you spray these trees at all?
We don't.
Okay, wonderful. Nice and easy.
Yes. Less cost and also less chemical.
And it's not necessary. You don't have disease issues with this variety?
Not with Tommy Atkins.
Okay. All right, and I'm excited, everybody, because today I'm going to taste probably one of my first true ripe Tommy Atkins mangoes. All right, I see a bunch of new trees in this area. We got some mameys. So this what?
Pantene variety from Lara Farm.
Yes, Laura Farms are great. This is the Pantene variety, and then you have another one over there. You got several.
Yes, these are all the Pantene variety in this area.
Now, did you plant all the same varieties
Yes.
to sell, or not for personal? Like we said with the carambola, it's too much for one person. I'd leave more than one, right?
Right.
So why didn't you get different varieties at different seasons, or?
We just really enjoyed this variety.
Wonderful.
It's nice
it's
and
excellent.
sweet.
It absolutely is. Great. So you said 3 or 4 or 5 or 6?
There's about 12 of them.
12. Wow. Now, do you water these?
Yes. We do have irrigation on those.
Okay. How often do you water these?
Depending on if it's dry conditions or it tends to rain here now pretty much every afternoon. So
do you spray these at all?
No. You can see the leaves are being eaten.
No. Okay.
This is the separation of properties right here. So you can see where the trees, the Tommy Atkins, where they go all the way down the line, and then this is
so this how this little grove here, how many acres is that? Or
2.3.
2.3, and then at some point later you got this second part?
Yes. So my mother acquired this property from Rosemary Elliker, and Rosemary Elliker is the daughter of Mary B. Heinlein, the founder of the Fruit and Spice Park. So this property used to belong in their family for many, many, many years. So this was Mary B. Heinlein's property as well at one time, as far as we know.
And how many acres was this one?
3 acres.
3 acres, okay. But they left a lot of the area clear that you were able to come in and plant trees.
Correct.
How old are these mamey trees?
These mamey trees are about, Stuart, like
3 or 4.
3 or 4 years.
Yes.
Wow. How big were they when you got them?
About 3 or 4 feet tall.
Really? And they got fruit in 3 or 4 years. That's wonderful.
Yes.
Okay. Show us what else you got.
Oh, okay. Well, back here, we also have some other different varieties. We have noni, different lychees, pomegranate, avocado, some more purple caimito,
Namwa bananas.
tamarind,
So you got a bunch of different varieties of different trees here.
These are pomegranates, but we don't spray, so they don't look so pretty.
But do they fruit well?
The fruit tastes good.
Yes.
Wonderful. And
Tamarind.
tamarind. Now there's a horse farm next door, right?
Yes,
Do
that's
you
our neighbors.
Do you use their manure at all?
No, we don't. We don't.
Okay. And what's that?
Avocado.
What variety?
Was it Catalina?
Yes. Yes, it is.
I believe it's Catalina.
Here's one of our turkeys. She just hatched.
You see the babies?
Has some
Oh wow,
hatchlings.
so cute.
We have about 30 little baby poults on the property now with spring.
Nice. What do you do with the turkeys?
We allow them to fertilize the ground.
Nice. Nice.
We feed them, they eat insects and fertilize. So we're trying to get it as natural as possible with this.
So tell me about this Catalina. How old is Catalina? Catalina avocado.
About 3 years old.
And did this get irrigation?
Yes.
Yes.
3 years old. Have you gotten fruit off of it?
This will be the first year.
Yes.
Wonderful. How many varieties of avocado do you have here?
We don't know. We don't know because we acquired another property, 10 acres, that we're going to be going to also.
Yes.
And we're still trying to figure it all out between the varieties of mangoes and the varieties of avocados. That grove is from the 1940s
Wow.
I think here on this property there's 3 or 4.
that we planted.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's wonderful. Okay. Show us around more.
Lychee grove. Would you like to have some lychees?
Oh, really? Wow. That's amazing. So, any issues with the lychee mites?
Yes.
You
Yes,
did.
we started to see it within the last couple of months. We're some of the last ones around to get it. We did contact
The
the
authorities.
right?
Yeah. to
And
deal with.
we're on the list to be treated.
So,
So
these you put in or they were here?
no, they were here. These are old.
What kind of
You
lychees
can
are
see
they?
What the lychee mite looks like right there.
Oh, wow. So, this is how the leaf should look, but the lychee mite, look what they do to the leaves here.
Yes.
Correct.
And it affects the fruit, obviously. So, what, sweetheart ones?
These are Mauritius.
Mauritius, can I taste one?
Of course.
Are they in
please.
season now?
They are.
Wow.
They're prime time for eating right now.
Wow, look at that. And how many lychee trees are there?
About 60.
Wow.
But like mangoes, this was a bad season for lychee. I think we only had about like 5 or 6 trees that really
Yes.
produced anything at all.
And you sell them commercially?
Yes. We sell commercials.
That's amazing. So you have them right next to each other, and some produced and some didn't.
Correct. Mhm.
Amazing. And
That's a sweetheart tree right there.
The dark leaf one.
You can tell how dark the leaves are.
uh-huh. And those are ready now too?
I'm sorry?
Are those ready now too?
No. No, they're not.
So they're different seasons a little.
Yes.
Okay.
You can try one if you'd like. It might just be a little sour.
No, if they're sour, no. Okay.
These are Namwa bananas over here. I don't know if you can see the 2 bunches that are hanging on the tree.
There's one right there.
Oh, yes.
Namwa bananas. How many bananas do you have?
We only have... Ooh, I don't know how many plants have grown out of each bunch, but 1, 2...
Well, how many bunches do you have?
Oh, I haven't counted.
So this is like a banana circle. Do you ever
Yes.
prune them out after?
After they provide fruit, I mean, we should be on top of it doing it. We have.
Sometimes. Not all.
So this is the banana you want, everybody, because look how short they are, these Namwa bananas.
Well, these are a different variety.
Okay.
I don't know which variety, but these over here are the Namwas.
Well, they're still short. They're amazing.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. See them over there.
Yeah, look how short they are, and they're on there. Alrighty, beautiful. So this is very interesting. This is the property of the granddaughter of the people that started the Fruit and Spice Park, which is another amazing park down here. Okay, what's next?
We can go that way and then come across.
Very excited. Okay, yeah.
Sorry,
Okay. Trying not to get you guys on here.
Oh, thank you.
So this is the end of the wall here of these palms that are separating their yard from the other yard.
Yeah.
So I noticed down here in Homestead, most people don't have, like up near me, we have wooden privacy fences, but here you have most of these palms to do your privacy stuff. How do you get along with your neighbors in terms of you have all this fruit? Do they have fruit as well, or is it?
Sure, they do. They do have fruit as well. Yeah, they also have some similar varieties to us.
Do you have any issues with people coming on your property taking fruit, or not really?
We did in the very beginning with this grove, with the lychee tree. We had one. It was only one tree that provided 1 year, and it was full of the most beautiful red lychee. And we were waiting and waiting, and then one day somebody came and took it all. Didn't even leave one fruit on it. So
Wow.
we now have 3 Dobermans that we release at night.
Oh, that's great.
So we haven't had problems since then.
Of course, the Doberman will do it. All right. Well, these are wonderful. And do you cut these back every year or no?
These we have not trimmed back. We trim when we harvest fruit.
Okay.
So
Well, are these the sweetheart ones?
Yes.
So I just had a Mauritius, and these are a sweetheart.
They're not quite ready yet, but let's.
All right.
She will find one for you.
Wow. Yeah, a little later in the season than the Mauritius ones, but excellent, excellent. Keep us on the tour. We'll find some.
And as you can tell, the seed is like a chicken tongue seed, right? It's smaller, sought after. Those fetch more money in the market.
What the?
The sweetheart. Oh, it was your seed.
This is the seed to Mauritius.
Oh no! Oh, Mauritius.
That's the Mauritius.
Okay.
So the seed. So is that why these fetch more? Because the seed is smaller.
It's smaller. The thinnest. The skin is thicker, and the meat tends to be sweeter.
Wow. Okay, here we go. I'm going to eat this and show you guys this both seeds. Are they alternate bearing or every year or what?
These bear less. These bear less. I think with lychees, I think you need a certain amount of cool hours. Oh wow! Look at that.
Yeah.
The seed is kind of big on that one.
Yeah.
It should be the chicken tongue seed. That's
Yeah.
strange.
Interesting. So, if you had your own property, I mean you do, but if you had a small yard and you could only have one lychee tree of these varieties, which one would you pick for your own personal use?
I would probably go with Mauritius because it's such a consistent producer. I'd rather eat lychee every year.
Okay. Good. That's a lot of people are going to want to know that, so that's great. And all of this was planted by the Fruit and Spice Park family.
Yes.
Okay.
This
And
part was.
so these trees are about 60 years old.
These, we don't really know how old these are. We were just told the age of the other ones.
I'm going to go here and show everybody real quick. This is so interesting. So this tree is a lychee tree. Absolutely not one lychee on the whole tree, but right next to it, if you can see that, look at all the lychee on that tree. Absolutely an amazing observation here. They didn't do anything different to these trees in the same exact part. But that one is a Mauritius, right?
Yes.
And that one's a sweetheart.
This one's Mauritius as well.
Mauritius. Oh, the same variety. And
Same
look at the
variety.
difference.
Mm-hmm.
So just absolutely amazing. Okay. We'll continue here.
I found one.
Oh, okay.
I already got rid of the other one. Okay.
That's
This is the seed of the sweetheart one. Looks so much smaller than the one to the Mauritius that was so much bigger. So very interesting. Okay. So how many lychee trees did you say?
about 60 or 70 of them. We've planted new
60
ones.
or 70.
And the
wow.
newer ones seem to be affected by the mite a lot more as well. So you can see as the leaf how it's curling.
Yes.
It bubbles
So-
up, it curls, and then it turns brown underneath.
And it affects the fruit, right?
Fruit production because there'll
Fruit
be less
production.
leaf.
Right.
How concerned are you as a farmer with 60 lychee trees about it?
Very.
Very concerned about lychee in South Florida.
And with your avocados, do you have any
Laurel wilt.
Laurel wilt on those?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Yes, we do.
So, I mean, how much? Have one of your trees been infected or all of them?
Not all of them. Probably less than.
I would say about 60%.
Really? Wow. And what are you doing to, what are you doing about it?
Well, we try to minimize it by cutting them back drastically and try to stop the spread of the disease. And we contacted UF Trek, and they came out and they said that the trees are so old that the root system they intertwine with amongst each other, and then from there, that's once you cut back the tree itself and then seal it, then the mites will go ahead and they'll just go into the roots. So it's not much
Right now that can be done.
Right
Yeah.
now.
Pray, you can pray.
We can
Yes.
pray.
Yes.
And that's what we're doing.
Well, that's the best thing to do anyway.
Yes, that is true.
Okay. Well, so we're still in the lychee part of the grove here. We're in Homestead, Florida, everyone. And again, the lychee trees are planted farther apart. They look like maybe they're 25, 30 feet apart compared to the way the other people planted the Tamiacan mangoes. So 60 acres of lychees. And it's all organic here. Do you spray it all?
We don't spray the trees.
Okay. Wow, look at that lychee tree. That is what it's about, folks. Look at that. What variety?
Mauritius.
Mauritius. Wow, everybody, look at that. Absolutely gorgeous.
The biggest pests for lychees are the crackles, the blackbirds. They like to peck at them and burst them, and you can see on the tree.
Yeah, wow. Need a good amount of room for that.
This is noni.
Noni, okay.
Are you familiar with noni?
Oh yeah, it smells and tastes wonderful. No. Yeah, this is noni, everybody. This is a very interesting fruit, and if you think a durian smells bad, folks,
Oh yes.
that is not a good smelling fruit. And yeah, that's noni. So did you plant this tree?
Yes, we did.
Do you like noni?
No,
Okay.
we don't.
Yeah,
But some people do.
I don't know.
It's got great
I don't know
medicinal purposes.
It does. It does. Yeah, it's a tough one. So that's noni. That's a beautiful tree. How old is that tree?
Oh, about 3 years old.
Yes.
The leaves are beautiful on there.
It is a beautiful tree.
And lychee?
The sour
Guanabana.
salt.
Sour
No.
Guanabana. Okay. Is that from Laura Farms as well?
It's a seedling that my mom
A
had.
seedling.
Mhm.
How does it do?
It hasn't produced.
Okay. How many years?
About
2 years.
2 years. 2 years.
Okay. So this is a seedling that hasn't produced. Definitely, if it was my small yard, I don't have an opportunity to have many trees. It would either be top work or gone. But a yard like this, you could wait and see. But do you plan on top working it eventually if it doesn't produce?
Well, the original tree that it came from was very delicious. It was a very sweet guanabana, so we're hoping that it fruits. We're waiting.
Okay, yeah, 2 years
We're
isn't that
waiting.
long of a time. Now, if we come around here, you have some new trees here.
Yes, and they're not doing so well, as you can see. This is a Mahashinook. I believe it mainly has to do with the quality of the, we're not giving it the extra care that it needs.
Sure.
The Rockland soil.
And what's that one, his name?
That's buttercream.
Buttercream, okay.
They're not doing too well. So we just
Okay.
need to give it some more attention.
Yeah.
And then behind that is Sign Salome, the tall one.
Oh, the tall one, okay. Alrighty.
And see, this is a kit, and that's a glen. And so they've been affected by that black city mold. And see how the trees are so big? It's hard to manage.
Yes.
to
So how
spray
old
it.
are these?
Oh, they came in the property. They were planted by the previous owners.
So that's a kit and that's a glen. That's an old, wow. That's a
Mhm.
big glen. So other than the black sooty mold, that doesn't affect the fruit though.
Well, there's a fruit right there. It looks fine.
Yeah. So that's black sooty mold is more in the leaves, as the black
Mhm.
spot will affect the fruit more. So, and there is a glen.
But I think that these probably have to be treated somehow because it's affecting a lot of the leaves.
Yes.
Glen.
So this is is that just an oak tree or something?
Oh, what was this tree called? It had a funny name. I don't know.
not
It was
sure.
planted here before us.
Okay, but not a fruit tree.
Not a fruit
No.
tree. Mm-mm.
Okay.
And that's a tamarind. And
Another
over there are
tamarind.
some wax bamboos back here.
Okay.
So we've got 2 red ones and a green one. Green variety.
How do they do?
They do really well. They need to be bagged. If you can see, there's some hanging on the tree.
Yes. They get a lot of bugs if you don't bag them,
Correct.
and you bite them open and there's bugs inside.
Exactly.
So, but they're an interesting fruit. This fruit's more than many other fruits. You get more. I know nurseries that have more fruit off this wax bamboo, their wax bamboo trees than any other fruit in there.
We'll see how big it is. We only planted it maybe 2 years ago.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
it was a little tree.
Wow. 2 years. So I see some stuff cut down there.
Those are jamuns. And
What?
Jamuns? The Java plums?
Okay. Yes.
They were. And we just had so many on the property. And so we had to cut it back. We wanted to
Okay.
grow anything
You still
else.
have a bunch.
We do have 2 more.
Okay.
And if you want to see, those are
Yeah.
some wax bamboo in the back. Also, you can see the flower and the small fruit. See them right here, the flowers and the smaller fruit.
Oh, look at that.
Pretty flowers.
For a beautiful tree, but they'll make a mess all over the floor.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's the sign Talone mango.
Also known as a guava mango. Do you know that now?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, guava mango. Nobody knew, but then they found out that these were the same mangoes.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now,
That's
have you
good to know.
tasted it?
Not yet. Not
Okay.
yet.
If you get a guava mango and that, they're supposed to be identical, so that's how they figured it out.
Nice. Thank you for letting me know. I
That's
didn't know
nice.
that.
And now, it's pretty tall. You planted that tree?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you plan on cutting it back? Because it's kind of okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And then over there we have a fruit punch. We haven't gotten fruit off of it yet.
Here's one of my favorite mangoes. So this is a fruit punch mango. Excellent. Now, what was here?
Nothing.
There's a stump there.
Yeah,
We put it to protect.
Okay. Okay. So that's
from
fruit
weed
punch.
eaters or lawnmowers.
Sure. Fruit punch is wonderful.
That's
Okay.
Pickering.
Pickering.
Let's see how it looks on the tree. I mean, the leaf is pretty bulletproof. I mean, this has been a solid tree.
Yeah,
So
Pickering
far.
is the.
It's been pretty good.
Yeah, I just saw a rabbit over there.
This one is a purple sugar apple. You can see it on the tree.
Yes. Seedling or graft?
Grafted.
Purple sugar apple. Nice. Okay.
That tree back there is an ice cream bean. We planted that one 2 years ago, and look how huge it is.
Wow. Yeah, that'll take off. Ice cream bean.
You can tell I'm in charge of pruning.
That's a canepa.
Okay. Spanish lime.
hmm
Alrighty.
And that is a garlic fruit that was here
What, a
before
tree?
that tree. Garlic fruit.
This tree.
Yes.
When you say garlic fruit, what do you mean?
That's the common name of it. I don't know the scientific name. It doesn't bear that much, but it does fruit a lot. So I don't know if it's just one of those trees.
What does it look like?
Small and yellow.
Okay, does it taste like garlic?
It stinks.
It stinks like garlic, but it's sweet.
But it's sweet.
Yes.
Wow, I had never heard of it. I'll have to look that one up. If any of the viewers know what that is, garlic fruit.
It definitely
Probably George
attracts a lot of
Zaldivar would
honeybees.
probably know.
Yeah. Definitely, what'd you say?
It definitely attracts a lot of honeybees
Wow.
for pollination.
Wow, okay. What else do we got?
This is the Ling Ling. I don't know
Yeah,
how to pronounce
Lang Lang.
it.
Lang
yeah,
Lang.
Lang Lang.
This is
And they're the
where they
flowers.
get the Chanel perfume.
Chanel number 5.
from-
Right.
Yeah, this is such an amazing smelling tree. Yeah, beautiful. And they grow big. These grow really big. And they're
Wow.
not strong. They will blow down during hurricanes. so
We
be
had
careful.
a huge one, and the whole grove would smell like Chanel number 5
Yes.
in the evening. But then it snapped in half during a windstorm.
And what do we got there?
That's a jaboticaba. It hasn't fruited for us yet. And next to it's an ackee. And the
Okay.
ackee has fruit on it, if you can see.
All right, there's Aki. It's green right now, but it'll turn pink or red. And that's nice. This tree is not in here too long because these grow super big. How long? How
This is actually a very old tree, but it snapped completely to a little stump during Hurricane Irma, and it just we thought that was it. The tree was a goner, but it
And it
came
grew
right
back.
back.
Okay. And then here's the Jabocaba. How old is this one?
That one is probably about, what would you say, Stuart?
It's 5 years.
A little bit. 5 years in this hole.
Are you watering it?
It does receive irrigation,
Okay.
but it doesn't look too good.
Those
It
need a lot of
needs
water
help.
in these.
Yeah, it needs help.
What'd you say that one? Oh, that's the Yaki.
Yeah,
Is that all Monstero?
And
Yeah.
we do get the fruit from them. If you can see the
Yes.
fruit, my husband's favorite fruit.
Okay.
And over here, you can see.
Yeah, there's the Monstero. Look at that. Tastes like bananas and pineapple mixture.
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely a beautiful plant, but they do take over everything, as you can see, everybody.
Yes.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Those
So,
pigs.
wow.
That's Mabolo, velvet apple, in the persimmon family.
Oh, wow. Another fruit that I've seen but haven't tasted. Yeah, when it ain't season.
At the end of summer.
Oh, but it's still really tall. And it gets
Yes.
loaded. Okay.
Yes.
So I'm going to make a note to myself to come back here and try this and do a video on that. That's
Pretty
great.
rare, right?
Very rare.
It's
Yeah,
very
not
rare.
many
And
people
it's
have one.
seedless.
Wow.
It's a seedless variety.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And that was here, though. Right.
That was
Yes.
here.
Now, did you buy this property for the trees or just because it was connected to yours or
Both.
both?
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
This one is Ciruela. We have a yellow version, and this one's the yellow one, and a
Okay.
red one.
That's like the June plum?
Hog plum.
Hog plum, I mean, yes. Yeah. They're delicious.
These two are butterscotch sapodillas.
Where do you get these from? Probably
We get
Leaf?
them from Leaf. I believe
These-
we got them
yes.
from Leaf.
Yeah, yeah. Butterscotch sapodillas.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Have you tasted these yet?
No.
Yeah, they're supposed to be amazing. There's another Camito.
Yes, the green variety.
Grafted or seedless?
Grafted.
Seedless.
It started producing really fast. We got it from Leaf, and like within 2 years of it, we have fruit. You're like, what?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Sure.
Alrighty. Here's a.
You can go ahead and grab whichever one you want.
Cut it off.
You want to cut it off? They're hard to.
There you go.
Okay. Okay.
All right, everybody. So that's a green Camito grafted. I got some from him as well.
Oh, from Lara, yeah.
Yeah.
And this is loquat.
Loquat. Now this is one fruit that is not even on my list. Not even at the top of my list, but not on my list. When you have limited space, you have to be very selective.
Yes.
Yes, it's a golden nugget variety.
So that's the golden nugget, which is one of the great varieties of it. Now, here's more bananas.
Yes, those bananas came with the property. We don't know what variety they are. This is
Okay.
a red Jabotacaba. It
Okay.
gives a lot of fruit. It's only been in the ground for a couple years. We bought it from Leaf. Very happy.
Several times a year, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep. I
Very
think it's
nice.
growing fruit on it right there,
Yep.
right now.
Very nice looking. And now we got some bigger trees up here. So,
This is a
Is
bay
that-
rum.
bay
So
rum.
if you smell the leaf, got a lot of.
But is there any,
scent.
and how's the fruit?
Oh, there's no fruit.
It's just the leaves.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, go ahead and tear it and smell.
Wow. That's very interesting.
And that's allspice right back
Oh,
there.
wow. You got two trees right next to each other, aroma trees.
Mm-hmm.
What's that one straight ahead there with the red on it?
Oh, come have some. It's Barbados cherry.
Okay. Barbados cherry back there, all red. Looks. Yeah. And then there's a big tree here. This is just absolutely amazing. What's this one?
Oh, that one's just a mahogany tree.
Oh, they have a non-edible tree on the ground. All right, don't hold it against them, everybody. But that's and then we have this beautiful tree here. There's another non-edible tree.
Right, this is a rainbow shower tree. A rainbow cassia. What is it called? And it's an almond one in the back. An almond flower one. I forgot how it's called.
So now this is their property line, and their neighbor has some big, big trees.
Yes.
And I don't think they're fruit trees, right?
No.
Wow. So, how do you feel about those big trees? There is something on them. Are those just flowers? The red?
Yes.
I-
Seeds.
Right, we don't know. The birds like them.
Okay. So you still have a lot of open land here. Do you plan to plant here or leave this open?
No, leave it open. We want to
Okay.
leave it open. And that's a black sapote there. You can see how it's
Oh,
a
yes.
very old black sapote.
Oh, wow.
There's probably still some fruit on it.
Is that on your property?
Yes.
Yeah.
So is that the street?
Yes.
That's
Behind the
194.
Adeca.
So are these trees yours, these big ones?
No.
Okay.
And you can hear the peacocks in the back.
Yeah, so look at that. Wait, which one's the black sapote? Well, that's a banyan and that's the black sapote, right?
Correct. But see how big the trunk is. It's an
Absolutely.
old one.
Wow.
And there's
Wow.
still fruit up there if you can see. Up.
Nobody's going
Hard
to
to
get that
get
fruit
fruit.
except some birds.
Right.
Wow. Wow. So that's pretty amazing here. And that's just on 3 sides of the house. We still got a whole nother side of the house. Now, this tree is really cool. I've seen this at Amazing Acres up in West Palm Beach. Look at this tree. It literally has spikes coming out of it. But this one's very unique because there's a split right there. And it just goes up, so it's like 2 trees. Tell us about this tree.
Wait, what's the name of this one? I forgot.
Silk floss?
Silk floss tree. Correct. And it's white flowers. It has
Wow.
beautiful white flowers.
Wow. Just, wow. Beautiful. Yeah, very unique tree.
And these are some dwarf coconut trees, Malaysian dwarfs that we
So-
line the driveway with. We haven't gotten fruit off of them yet.
Is these the only coconut trees you have on?
We have another
Here?
coconut over there
Okay.
that has actual coconuts on it.
Yeah, I had gotten rid of, from my property, I got rid of all my coconuts and I'm working on getting rid of my bananas.
Oh.
The most high maintenance trees, coconuts and bananas. Yeah, but the best, I love coconuts when you have the space for them.
Oh, yes. The coconuts are right there. You see them?
Wow, beautiful.
And behind those 2 very large trees are the jamuns.
Oh, the what?
Jamuns? Java plum?
Oh, Java plum. Wow, that one?
Yes. That
Wow.
one and the one over there.
Wow, how old are these?
Whew, we don't know.
Look at this tree, everybody. Look how
It's
cool
a
that is.
ponytail plum. Very
Wow.
old.
Wow, but look at, wow. And how often does these get fruit?
It
Once a
should
year.
start fruiting in July, August. They should be ready. And there's some more monstera over there. And that's a golden shower tree above it.
Another non-edible, right?
Right. And this is a Sabara Gibotacava that we got from Leaf, and we've already eaten fruit off
Oh,
of it.
wow.
It's only been in the ground a couple years.
Amazing.
And that's the tree of life that was probably blown over during Hurricane Andrew.
Now, why do you say the tree of life?
The baobab tree. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly.
Yes, I've heard of that, yeah. Where did I heard of it recently.
They have them at the Fruit and Spice Store.
Yeah, yeah. So it blew over and it kept growing.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And these are sapodillas.
What variety?
This one's makok, and that one is, which one is that one?
So Maycock and,
And we just had one for the first time, and it was so good.
yeah.
Very flavorful. They're smaller though. And that's abu right there.
Oh, wow. Wow. Did you get anything off that yet?
This is the first year it's fruiting. You can
Nice.
see the fruits on it.
Yes. Wonderful.
See the green
Abu.
fruits? I don't know why some are turning black.
And that's a mango over there?
Yes.
What is that?
It's a purple Thai mango.
Purple Thai, okay. Yes.
And that's jackfruit.
All right. I didn't, oh, you got a bunch of jackfruit here.
This is our jackfruit section.
What variety?
Mixed in.
Well, there I see over there. There's something cut. What was that?
Oh, those 2 little trees are macadamia.
No, oh no, no. There's something cut out there or no?
That was a jamun.
Jamun.
It was
Okay.
like those trees. What was happening is we had a lot of jamun around, and they would blow over onto the electric line and take everyone's power out. So we had
Wow.
to get rid of them.
So here's your jackfruit. What varieties do you know?
We don't know for sure. No. We
These
bought
were
them as
here?
Jackfruit. Nope.
Oh,
Nope.
you bought them at
We bought them
jackfruit,
as just jackfruit.
and you don't know what variety.
No.
Now knowing what you know about fruit, would you have made
Yes.
that, done that again?
No, I
or
would not make that mistake
Are they
again.
good jackfruit?
Yes.
Delicious.
Delicious.
All
very
of the
good.
ones you have are delicious?
Yes.
Did you get them all at the same place or different places?
We got them at Casey's Corner. And we just
Okay.
asked for jackfruit. So she gave us jackfruit.
Okay, and she wouldn't know which kind if you went back?
Well, we did try calling her, but she said, it had been several years, so she didn't really know.
Okay, here's Jamaican
We
cherries,
sell so many varieties.
strawberries.
Yes.
It's been a while. These taste like Captain Crunch, everybody. And these grow really big. More jackfruit?
Yes.
How old are these jackfruits?
been in the ground for like 4 or 5 years.
Yes.
What's that one?
This is just a golden shower tree. It's
Okay.
another Casey, I believe.
A lot of land here.
And that's another jackfruit over there in the back. See how it's growing straight up to
Yeah.
the sky? But they say they're temperamental. Like you don't want to cut them until they're a certain amount of years old. So we're almost hitting that.
Yeah.
Time.
Have you gotten jackfruit of that?
Oh, go for it, and you can see. You can see that there's.
Oh,
this
yeah.
is the first time it's fruiting.
Wow. And how long has it been in the ground?
Like 4 or 5 years.
Wow, look at that.
All
Nice.
the way up. There's some.
Oh, wow. Have fun getting those. Wow. Now, do you have any? Oh, you do have a mechanical machine there. Okay.
Well, it's not ours.
Oh.
A friend of ours let us use it. So
Well, that helps to get those.
it does. Those
Wow, look
machines are
how-
costly. Those Afrons. They're
Absolutely.
from Israel.
Wow.
They're very good machines.
Look how high that jackfruit is up there.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, that's. Yeah, this is wonderful.
Thank you. That's a
And-
twang. I don't know how to pronounce it. Twang carambola.
A
It's a
carambola.
different. I got that one from Lee.
What's that?
Oh, this was a Pickering, but it's not doing so well.
Okay, and this is
This is ice cream mango.
ice cream mango. Wow.
First time it's fruiting for us.
A dwarf variety. Very nice.
So we don't know if because these mangoes are not receiving as much sunlight because of these large Tommy Atkins that they're not thriving, or if it's the hole that they're placed in. But we've already replaced these 2 mango trees, right? Like twice already.
Yes.
And whatever we put in these holes die. So
Wow. Now remember, everybody, we're near these Tommy Atkins mangoes. Here's just to give you an idea what they look like. How they're supposed to look, at least. This one's a drop, but
Yes. It
they
dropped,
turn
with the last-
nice when you. There's a big difference, as I say, between getting them right from the farm and buying them from the store. So you said whatever you put in these holes dies?
dies, and we don't know why. Yeah.
They either die or not thrive very well.
Yeah.
But we haven't been giving them a lot of love and care either. We just give them irrigation, and we have fertilized only once this year.
Okay.
Those are lemon guava. Have you tried them?
Lemon. No, I don't believe I have. But there's some on here now, right?
Yes, but we don't bag them, so they might have worms.
All right. Well, we'll see. Lemon guava. Alrighty.
Probably next season we'll start bagging.
Wow, those are really nice.
They're good, right?
Yeah.
They have the consistency of guava and they taste lemony.
Wow.
We have 2 trees.
Very nice. Very nice. And you have a sapod. Is that a sapodee behind it?
That little one. That's a. What kind of lime is that? A key lime and a
Mango?
Okay.
water lemon. And behind those 2, we've got pomegranates and a jujube.
Oh,
So we have-
jujube. Where's your jujube? Is it big or small?
It's small. We haven't
Okay.
received any fruit from those 3 trees. The 2
So
pomegranates.
I'm looking at their property here, and they show me a lot of trees yet, but I haven't seen my favorite tree yet. So I'm
Which
going to
one
keep
is
going.
that?
Well, we'll keep going, and we'll see. I know we're getting down to. We're already almost done there. So I see the Kamito over there, and I see.
That's a cotton candy mango. We haven't had fruit off of that
Okay.
yet. This one is a Julie.
Okay.
It needs a little help.
So what made
That
you
one's
select of all the varieties of mangoes? Like you have ice cream, Julie, and cotton candy. Did you just do the same thing, go there and ask for a mango, or did you specifically look these up and get these for a reason?
We specifically asked for Julie because it's my mother's favorite. She likes to bite
Okay.
the end off and suck the juice off. She
Okay.
loves that mango. It's her favorite, absolute favorite mango. That one's coconut cream. We have 1 fruit on it for the first time. Even it's so
Okay.
big, it's the first time we've
Oh
gotten
yeah,
fruit
they
off
take
of it.
a while, but when they fruit, they go really
oh,
well.
really good.
Yes,
That's awesome
yes.
to know.
My neighbor had one the first 5 years, nothing, and then the 6th year was loaded.
Wow,
Yeah.
good.
So what
Jamun.
jamun cut
There
out
was a
here,
jamun cut out.
and there's a big tree in the middle. Was that jamun cut out also?
Yep,
Okay.
that was. In the back there, we didn't pass by, but in the back we have a Trompo Canistel, and we have a Florida Haas avocado, a little one over there.
So in this
back.
whole property, I only saw 2 avocados.
Yeah, it wasn't much.
Well-
There's some more in here. There's another 2 over here.
Has the beetle affected them on this property?
No,
No, they have not.
not on this
Maybe
property.
because they're so spread out. Maybe.
Maybe, maybe. And then if you wanted to take a look over there, we planted
Oh,
some new mango
absolutely.
varieties on that side.
Oh, absolutely.
I think it's cool what you're doing because you get to see how different trees grow in different environments with different kinds of care as well. If you can see
Absolutely.
our ground, it's rock.
Yep. It's certainly different than where we are. Where we are, it's all sand. All right, so we got a bunch of. This is just amazing how close they are. These
Yeah.
Tommy Atkins.
There's a Valencia pride right there. If you can see the fruit hanging.
Okay, but that's not.
You can go hit
That
the
wasn't planted any time.
We planted it.
Okay.
And it struggled for a while because it had to compete for light
Sure.
with the Tommies. But you see the fruit right there?
Yeah. Look at that. I'm just amazed how close these are
Yes.
and how big they are.
They were, when they were trimmed 2 years ago, it was all sunlight in here. And then they've just grown back so fast.
Okay, so here's a bunch of new mango trees that they have.
Yes. So this one's a Valkyrie.
Okay. And again, did you pick these for a specific reason on these?
We spoke to Leaf, and he said they were good mangoes. We trust his opinion.
Okay.
This is a Valkyrie. That's a Julie. It's not doing well, but it kind of like sunk into the ground, even though we had to get augers to drill these holes. An auger to drill it. So I think we're having to figure out how to establish the hole well for these trees. This one's a Harvest Moon.
Harvest Moon, okay.
The one next to it is a kit. Like this middle row is kit for the most part.
You planted all these kit.
Yes.
Now you know there's a problem with the black spot and kit, right?
Yeah, we've heard now recently.
Who sold you these kits?
Oh, these kits, we got them, like 8 years ago?
Oh, it was 8 years ago. Okay, so then it wasn't an issue. So that was a good choice back then because kits are wonderful.
And then this one is Sugarloaf.
Oh, what a great mango. Have you had it?
Nope. We haven't had any
Absolutely
fruit.
amazing.
This is the first time we're getting some orange sherbet.
Oh, wow. I have a tree, but I haven't tasted that one yet. And they got an orange sherbet mango in there.
One fell.
Uh-oh.
I don't know. It looked like it split, too, if you see.
So these are getting irrigation on
Yes.
them. Okay.
This is Rosy Gold.
Rosy Gold.
That was lemon meringue. It didn't do too well.
Uh-oh. And what about those bigger ones over there?
Kit.
Kit, okay.
That's our sweetheart.
Now, are you identifying them because you put them in and you know what you put in, or because the way they look, or how do you remember?
Oh, no, just because I had to write it down.
Oh, you wrote it down,
based
okay.
on how they look. Sweetheart, and then this one's Pina Colada. It's not doing too well right now.
Okay.
That one's Irwin.
Irwin, okay. And then there's the Tommy.
And right there, that's a Malika. We haven't gotten fruit from it yet.
Okay.
And then behind it is, let's see, Triple Sec.
Okay, yes, excellent one.
And behind that is Raw Honey.
Okay.
And then there was a Lemon Zest there that didn't make it. And the two in the back are Karen Michelle and Valkyrie.
Nice selection you have here, and here's more Tommy Atkins.
And there's a BQ Longin.
Okay, so you have a longing. I still haven't seen my favorite one. We'll see. Okay, so other than Tommy Atkins and longins, do you have anything else here?
There's a Guanabana next to it. And there's
Okay.
a Sour Orange. And there's two Alfonso in the front.
Okay, the Guanabana, is that a seedling?
Yes.
Okay.
My husband does have a Miami Guanabana from
Yes,
Laura.
they're wonderful.
And we have, we passed a trailer that has full of fruit trees that are ready to go on the ground on the other property. But we
I
have
saw
what we
that.
have over there. Pineapple Pleasure.
And the Malika,
Another Malika. A
uh,
bunch of abuse.
30 or 40 abuse, ready to be put in the ground.
So that's what
Okay.
the seedling looks like. Okay, sorry.
So as we're going around this farm here, even though it's a Tommy Atkins grove, there's some trees that are not Tommy Atkins that are just as old. So what were you saying this one is here?
We don't know.
You don't know, but
If
how do you?
look at it?
Oh, because the mangoes are different.
Right. These two are fiberless. These two trees right here, and this one's like solid green color, and it only gives a little blush at the end.
And how do all of these taste?
Delicious. These two are delicious.
Delicious. Wow, and they're really old, and so you don't know which ones they are.
We have no idea the variety. We don't know.
What about the season? Is it the same as Tommy Atkins or different?
No, different. This is like a late season one, and this one's more aligned. I'm sorry, this one's more aligned with Tommy Atkins. This one's late season.
Is there any way to find the old owners or family members of the old owners? No.
No.
And you said there was a seedling straight ahead there that's going straight up, but nothing's growing on that one.
Yes.
All right, and that's so close to the tree. What about other seedlings? I see all the trees are pretty clean. That one might be a seedling right here.
Yep.
So which one's the seedling here? The smaller one or the?
You can only guess.
Do they both get fruit?
This does give fruit. See, it has fruit on it.
Okay. And these are seedlings.
And you can
Wow.
see that one's a seedling next to that tree right there. You see that seedling?
Yeah.
Right up next to it?
And does that get fruit?
Yes.
But do they taste different than Tommy Atkins or no?
Yes. Yes, we'll have different tasting fruit mixed in with the grove.
Wow.
So.
Wow. So you got your
we're
own
still
varieties
learning.
there.
Yes.
Yeah, you got to give them some names. Yeah. So do you think it tastes better or just the same as the Tommy Atkins?
Well, this one is my favorite of the different mango trees. It normally gives in abundance, and it's a dark green color and fiberless, super juicy, dark orange inside.
Classic mango flavor or something else?
A little bit more spicy. Yeah, but that's our favorite one so far. But you know what? I don't even know if it's a seedling. What if it ends up being a different kind of variety that's already established?
Exactly.
I don't know.
Exactly. Nice. Thank you. Thank you for showing us around. So, my favorite fruit tree, which I haven't seen, white zapote.
We have it.
On this property?
No.
The other property.
Okay, we'll go there. Okay.
But it's young, so no fruit
What
yet.
variety do you know?
No, we don't know what variety.
Wow, that's
We gotta
great.
believe.
Yeah. Yeah. So, all right, everybody. So now you only sell wholesale, right?
Well, we're starting to sell online more.
You have a website?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. What's your website? I'm going to put their website below the video, but what's your website?
It's jammymango.com.
jammymango.com. I'll put it below the video. So they're starting to sell retail as well. So if you want, do you do the mail or just local pickup?
FedEx 2-day.
FedEx 2-day. All right. I'd love to meet growers that are shipping to those of you all over the country that can't get these. So grow these. Now you can get them. And thank you very much for showing us around this property. And you have 2 more properties as well, right?
Oh, one more. So we
One
showed
more.
you the 2 properties here.
Okay.
So we're going to show you
go one more as well. Okay, great. Wonderful. We'll be right back, folks. All right, everybody. That was this amazing couple here and their wonderful, amazing farm and just the amazing trees they have. And as I was saying, just when you think you've seen it all, I mean, can you imagine? Not a big corporation, but a wonderful young couple with a farm like this, who's handling this farm and getting out the fruit and so on. And they're also service women and men. They also both have a service, Air Force, serving our country. Just wonderful, wonderful. So, as you see here, I'm near their Lychees, and just absolutely amazing. And that's what I say. We have different types of situations. I have a small yard, a small situation, and I can't just grow whatever I want like they do. And some of their trees are just going crazy off the hook here. And then there's a lychee tree right next to it that has nothing on it. So when you have this much space, you can afford to do something like that. But it's just great, the diversity that's out there, and just to see a farm like this, people like this. They're wonderful people. I just know, I could tell they are, and this farm is great. And I always recommend people support people that are doing things like this. They got these big properties. They didn't just cut down the trees and just want a nice lawn or something. No, they kept the trees. They're taking care of the trees. They're getting the fruit out there. And It's a little unfortunate that some of the trees like the lychees and the avocados have diseases now, but they'll figure out a way to make it work. These trees have been here for a long time. It's such a great thing that they're doing by keeping this going. And I'm so excited to know them and be there. And they have another farm that we're going to look at as well. But these two that are connected, wow. Wow, absolutely just so excited. They're going to go and cut some lychees for me to have, because I haven't had any this year, or actually any in a while. But they got so many things here. And I know at the other property they even have my my white sapote that I love so much. We'll check that out. But over there they have turkey, they have peacocks and turkeys running around with babies here, and they don't eat them. That's so great. All right, so thank you for watching. Put your comments and questions below. I'll do another video of their other farm. So these are two that are connected. I'm gonna go in a shady area here because I'm gonna go right in the middle of the Tommy Atkins Grove. I'll eat this lychee. Wow. Wow. All right, everybody. We'll be right back in a moment. All right, everybody. So here we are at another farm. Same name, same website. But there's just an extension of their farm. And this was originally an avocado and mango farm. And it's 10 acres. It's in Homestead, not too far from your other place. And so I see some mangoes and fruit here. Now there are no Tommy Atkins on this property, are there?
There are. We just don't know which ones are the Tommy Atkins.
Okay, so how long have you had this property?
About 2 years.
2 years.
Okay, so they're still discovering and researching the different mangoes, the growth habits of everything else, and anything else. So about 2 years they had this one, but how the farm was actually older than your previous farm, or no?
Yes, this grove was established in 1949 by John Poropat, and we purchased it from his family, the Ackers. Very nice people, and we're honored to take it over and take care of the trees.
And you said many of these trees were hand planted.
Yes.
Well, I guess all trees are hand planted. What am I saying?
Well, our other ones, the holes were dug with auger and,
Oh yeah, because we're down here in Homestead. It's a little bit. It's not sand. It's digging into
rock.
So,
Limelight.
so, but yeah. So show us around what you got
Sure.
growing on here.
Just got mangoes. A lot of these that fruited, we believe, are the Tommy Atkins. We've got rows and rows of kits that haven't produced.
Okay, so these are shorter than your other ones, it looks like, or they're just wider apart.
They were drastically trimmed back last year.
Last year.
You see the vigor in these trees. They're already, doesn't even look like they were trimmed much.
And their spacing is double the size, at least.
Double the size. Have you noticed a difference in the production because of the spacing, or not necessarily?
Not as of yet, because this is going to be the second year that they're producing fruits. Last year or the year before that, then that's when we drastically cut them back so that they can thrive better.
These trees were like cut in half. They recommend only doing a third at a time.
Yes.
Right? But we cut them in half, and they're just, look, they're already fruiting a
Wow.
year later.
Wow.
So we believe they're Tommies for that reason.
Yeah.
And we have the younger trees that we're establishing in between, or where spaces are available.
So for example, here's a newer tree you put in,
Right.
and you look at the tag there.
The tag is off.
So do you have a map of this somewhere where you'd know?
We're working on that.
Okay.
But we have a list of what we purchased and when we're.
So I don't see any irrigation on the older trees, definitely not. But even in new trees here, you know, irrigation yet?
So we're using the Gator to irrigate. The Gator.
The John Deere, it has a 45-gallon tank that we fill up with water, and then we'll go and water them.
Okay. How often do you water these new trees?
Depending on the weather, like if there's drought, but it's been raining every day.
Yes.
So,
Okay. So here we have a bunch of old mango trees. Wow. And in the old days, with this farm, did they just sell them locally?
We don't know. We don't know.
Yeah, we didn't get a lot of history from the previous owners.
There were buyers that would come and harvest, and then those buyers would sell to wholesale.
Wow, and there's a bunch of rows. It looks like You said you were told there were different varieties here. What were the main varieties that were here?
Kit, Kent, Raposa, Tommy Atkin, and Palmer.
Okay.
And look at that avocado tree, how full it is. And it doesn't look, do you see the
Yeah.
trunk? It looked
Well,
like
is
it was
that-
blown down by a hurricane and then it just grew up again. And
Yeah,
look at
check
how
that
full of
out.
avocado
It was. And is that a seedling as well?
Looks like it.
Yes.
So we
Seedling
have this
mango.
tree that was blown down, and it's growing avocados, and there's a bunch of avocados there, and then there's a seedling mango coming up there. Wow. Have you tasted this particular one?
Yes.
Yes. It's very delicious.
Very good.
Very delicious.
We don't know what it is though.
Wow. And okay.
Yet to be discovered.
Yes.
Yes.
We planted a lot of Jakarta trees, dot. What else? Did we? Cac,
Cacti, Jakarta.
Timor from Julie and Laura. Got a Timor from him.
What'd you say, Timor?
Mhm.
And other than the mangoes and avocados, what else is growing on here?
So over there we planted Alano sapodillis.
Okay.
It can
Why'd you
that
pick
way.
Alanos?
Because they're larger fruits, and from what we've heard, the customers enjoy the larger.
They're not as large as the butterscotch.
Right. We haven't eaten a fruit off the butterscotch yet, though.
Yeah. No, these grow really well out here. Now, are these fruits ripe as well?
Yeah.
These look much bigger than the Tommy Atkins, actually, or am I wrong? There's a raccoon like that one a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But they do look much bigger. Am I incorrect, or
No,
We think that's still Tommy Atkins.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
they get to be almost like football size.
The
okay?
ones at the other property that you picked up and you looked at, that was actually blown down off of a windstorm that we had about a week ago.
Wow.
We also have Wampy back.
We've got some
Wampy back there.
And you can see the laurel wilt affecting that avocado right there.
Wow. That one right there.
Mm-hmm.
Purple
So-
Camito.
How many Camito trees do you have here?
That's
Well, yeah.
baby.
12. So they're having some trouble with the laurel wilt on the avocados here. They lost about 60% of their crop, and it's very unfortunate. But that's nature. That's what's happening. So, but they'll figure it out. And in these empty spots. Now, was this spot just naturally empty, or did you take something out?
It was naturally empty, so we drilled a hole. But it looks like that tree's not liking the rockland,
Oh, there's the white zapote.
right?
Wow, here it is. A Subel white zapote.
It needs love.
It needs love. Come on back. Come on back. Okay.
You see the little avocados growing? That one has laurel wilts, unfortunately.
The little one? Oh, these cut back. Wow.
See how old the tree was?
Yeah. Yeah, you see this? Suffering from laurel wilt, and the one next to it, how's that?
It doesn't seem to have laurel wilt on it yet. This one looks like it's going to get laurel wilt.
And that one hasn't. So what some places are doing is they're cutting out the one in between. That's what they're doing.
Really?
Yeah.
Try to stop it.
To try to stop it. And a lot of grows, from what I understand now with the avocados, since the older trees are the ones that get affected because of the roots, they're completely cutting out all their older avocado trees and planting new ones.
New ones.
Yes. Starting all over.
Starting all over.
Yes. So,
Or replanting with something else.
or it's something else even, yes. So this is just a beautiful 10-acre property here. And
I want to see the mangoes.
yeah, so what's going on here with these new trees?
So they're just newer varieties of mangoes that we've planted, and Munkunsi,
Yes.
Kyo Savoy.
And how far apart? Did you purposely just go in a spot that was empty, or did you?
Yes. We've kind of followed the line
Got you,
of the
got
original grove.
you. And what was that tree that's cut? A palm?
A palm tree, it died.
Broke, yeah.
Wow.
Broke and died.
Now there are groves now that are doing the high intensity gardening
Yes.
and keeping it smaller. So that's what.
Yes, that is true.
Have you thought about doing that here? In in certain areas?
We thought about it. Right now, we just, dug holes to keep suit with the
Yes.
previous.
So here's an avocado that's looking good.
That was a Gary mango over there.
Gary mango.
Oh, okay. Wow. Wait, a big one or a new one?
The new one.
Oh, Gary mango. Okay, that's one I gotta get actually. Have you tasted it?
No?
Yeah, I hear it's
We've heard
amazing.
Really good.
That's Laura Farms, Julian's favorite one.
Yep, that's why we planted it. You see how Tommy produces over there?
Yeah,
Even
wow.
on years where there's no mangoes.
Wow, wow. Now with these avocados, I know you can't tell which ones they are, but are they all similar or you don't know?
No, they're actually different.
Wow.
Some get very big and some stay round, and yeah, they're
Some are
different.
smooth and some are rough.
Rough, right?
So there's some new trees you planted.
Mm-hmm.
Those mangoes or avocados or just a mixture of everything?
Mangoes.
Mangoes and
different
purple
varieties.
manito in the back.
Wow. How often do you come around with the truck to water them?
Well, when we don't get rain for about 5 or 6 days, then we water every 3 days.
So
we've been receiving a lot of rain.
So you see what's going on here? That's not good. That's a sign of this is avocado, right?
Right, most of them look like that.
That's a sign of the laurel wilt. I did a video, I don't know if you see my video on it.
On laurel wilt?
Yeah. Matter of fact, the guy that I just called, he's one I did in the video. It would do you great to learn, become friends with him and go out to his farm.
Definitely, thank you.
You guys can. Moon Kunsi, that's a nice mango here. Wow, absolutely beautiful. Do you plan on buying more properties or are you set?
I think we're set right now with this. We don't want to really expand too much.
And I know there was a pump there. What there used to be a irrigation here?
Yes, there used to be irrigation here. See, those avocados are different.
Wow, yeah. And how deep is the well here? Oh, look at that.
Right.
How deep is the well?
There's actually 7 wells here.
Mm-hmm.
7, wow. Do you know how deep they are?
30 feet.
What's growing on here?
That's a guava.
Oh, wow, look at that.
It's a Ruby Supreme.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice one. Very nice. You got that from Julian, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Either Julian or Lee. And those are already bigger, those avocados.
Yes, then there's the laurel wilt on that one, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Got to get that out of there.
Yep, that's a burn. We've been contacting for burn days because you have to only burn on days that you're allowed to.
And you planted new stuff over here?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is very excited. Now, is that fence your line?
Yes.
So what are they got growing on the other side of that? Longan. So other than the older mangoes and the older avocados, I know you planted new stuff. Is there anything else that was old that's growing here?
Here's an old star fruit. There's 2 old lychee trees.
Are they
I don't know what the varieties are.
Do they fruit just as well as yours other ones?
They both have fruit on them, and they're both green, so they're later season avocados.
Wow.
And these are the kits.
These?
Mm-hmm. See how the leaf pattern looks different
Yeah.
than the Tommy.
I know Walter Zeal has transformed most of his kits. Top work, a lot of them. And what do you have Dobermans on this property or anything?
No, we have the young man who live here.
Got the 2-legged animals. Okay. Well, very nice. Very nice.
Thank you.
Anything else you want to share about this property or your plans or anything?
No, we're just planting new tropical fruits.
So without knowing what these mangoes are when you sell them, do you just sell them as mangoes or do you sell them as variety mangoes that you've got to figure out?
Well, so the majority of those on that side, we've determined that they're pretty much Tommy Atkin. These kits, But there's some varieties in here that we haven't sold yet because we don't know what they are.
Okay. How many did you plant and how many were probably here?
Well, so far what we've planted has been probably around 40 trees.
So there were over 500 trees on this property
Mm-hmm.
when you got it. Wow. Wow. Well, everybody take a good look. And not only is this fruit available, I'll put the link below the video, but we're going to come back here many times as this farm gets more established with the newer trees. And we're going to do a lot of filming here with these wonderful people in this great place.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, and the potential that they have here to just, it's already like these mango trees are going, wow. So you'll have mango stuff for sale online now.
Right now.
All right,
Yes.
get to the website below the video, everybody, and thank you. Thank you both very much.
Thank you very much.